Did you see? Wait, did you see this? All right, I'll segue into Gavin Newsom here for a second. Let's talk about it. But to kick this off, Kamala Harris has a book out, and she, in the book, calls out Gavin Newsom for saying, hey, I asked him for an endorsement after Biden dropped out. And he said, hiking will call back, and then never followed up. Anyway, let's talk about it. So Gavin Newsom interview. It went out today. If you'd like to watch it, I noticed that they decided that they didn't really want to put my name on this thing because everyone else is like, this is Gavin Newsom and this is Sean Spicer. This is Jamie Harris and this is Jasmine Crockett. Gen Z feels screwed. And this is Brandon H. Rock Ewing in 8-point font. But it's out. It's out. Listen, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I wanted to point out some parts and maybe give some background or some story on it. I am getting mogged by a man 20 years my senior. He's got the hairline and the height on me. Here's the main thing. So the first third of this interview is Gavin Newsom trying to talk to me about video games. The first third is him like trying to talk to me about like what Discord is. Why was Marshmallow in Fortnite? At one point, I wonder if we can find this. I'm not doing this, but I'm saying I'm finding it frustrating. The endless pointing to Discord, Reddit, right. Twitch. This is not like, and by the way, I should have worn longer socks. I'll also say that. And I try to explain, because here's the prep I had for the interview. I can even show you the email. I can even show you what they sent me. I want to be perfectly transparent here. We want to have a conversation around the gaming community, how we reach younger voters, what's going on with kids that are too online these days, Discord, Reddit, other prevalent topics giving everything in the news. And then they mentioned the video. The Charlie Kirk video I did. So I understood the assignment going in that it wasn't going to be like every possible discussion. But when I'm thinking about this thing and I'm prepping for it, my main thing it comes back to, like with all my content, is that the reason people are disengaging from normal avenues of society and diving deeper into message boards, Discord, Reddit, forums is because of the economy. More than anything else, more than polarization, more than algorithms, it's the economy. It's the fact that people don't feel like they have a real shot at getting a house, getting on the normal ladder of a good job, and also going out to third place is more expensive. So that was my main goal going in, was like to bring it back to that and also point out how tired I think we all are of video games and video game related hobbies being trotted out as an excuse every time somebody shoots somebody. The idea that it's video games is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's a well-worn, disproven thing. So those are my main things I wanted to get across. And I think I was able to do that in this early part. But there is this disconnect talking about like esports and Fortnite. And at one point, dude, and it's like not long after we talked about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, he's like, tell me about getting world records in Hitman. And like, I think I hope we can find it, bro.
World record holder, what, for Hitman, right?
Yeah, there's a game called Hitman where you're flying around. And that is a time of my life where I started doing this when I was working at NVIDIA. I was working some insane hours.
Right.
And like, I didn't want to say you fly around and assassinate people. It doesn't make, like, what am I going to explain the game? And also, here's the thing, at a high level, by the way, I appreciate him having me on and letting me speak my piece. This is overall complimentary. I'm just saying why there was a disconnect in the first third of this interview. If it's Gavin's audience, if it's like people that are Gavin voters watching this, they don't give a fuck about Hitman the video game. And if it's my audience watching it, they already know this stuff and they want to hear more about like me talk about the economy with someone who has actual power to make change. So there's no point in the discussion that I think that was the early questions were leading towards. So I tried my hardest, like every question in this section, to steer it towards the economy. And to his credit, around here, I think we just start going off on like actual stuff that I really am interested in. So I took about the first third to get through it, I think. After the first third, I think we start hitting our stride. Had to warm a bit. Yeah, exactly. You should have pulled out the elusive target explanation. The only meme that I almost did and I didn't do, guess I'm a coward. He was talking about the CEOs of Twitch, Reddit, and Discord, and I almost threw in Clancyville. But I didn't want to have to explain it if he asked what it was. I just for the real ones, I wanted to throw in a Clancyville, but I didn't want to, that's for the next one. That's for if he comes on the stand. I also felt like I really crushed his spirit because in this section, he's talking about esports like it's like this booming thing right now.
The space, but you talk about esports, and I just think it's an interesting space in this context. You say it's a relatively small space, but it's not a small amount of investment that it seems people are making. I was just reading about Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Beckham, folks putting tens of millions of dollars into esports teams. I mean, this thing's growing.
Yeah, but what I'll tell you is, being dead honest, Gavin, a lot of them are going to lose their shirt on this. It's not. Like, I start talking about, like, bro, these guys are wasting money. Like, because I got to keep it real. Like, 2 years ago, you could be like, yeah, esports is through the roof. But I'm not. And then it was funny. So after this interview was over, because I go on for a bit, and I'm like, yeah, it's like people are watching esports, but the money is really out of it. After this interview, one of the cameramen came up to me and he's like, hey, man, what you said about esports made me laugh, because in the studio next door, they used to have this thing called the Overwatch League, and it disappeared. I'm well aware. I'm well aware, bro. He's like, I always wonder what happened to that thing. So we were like literally in the same spot that they used to film that. So yeah, listen, the first third I talk about, I kind of pivot the gaming questions more towards the economy. And then the one thing I had in my mind, because I had some like time. I was here, he showed up right maybe 20 minutes before this interview, 15, 20 minutes. We talked for a little bit and then we went live. But like I was there for probably 2 hours before the interview. I was in like the green room, I was on my phone just chilling. And the one thing I wanted to say was, because I was like, what's the point? What would I want to get out of this if I'm talking to someone who might have a real shot at the presidency? And I wanted to say this, and I don't know if I have it in here. If someone knows where this timestamp is, because I think I did say it directly, but I'll just say it here now because I think it's important. Based on betting market odds, which can change a lot, and if we have a free and fair election, which could change a lot, there's a decent chance this guy could become the DNC nominee. And because Trump is polling so badly, he could become president. There's a real chance. I basically said, actually, if we can find the timestamp, it's really funny because I think he looks pissed when I bring it up. When I was like, so you're running for president, right? I just say it, dude. I was like, you're running for president, and there's a decent chance, you could be the nominee and this could happen. And because Trump is doing so poorly, at least in my mind, I think I approached this administration overly fair to Trump. I literally went into this, I was like, hey, he won the popular vote. I'm going to give him a fair shot as I can. But it's been so obvious that it's been one blunder after another. It's been 21, 27. Okay, let's pull this up. Theoretical world where you're going to run for president. I'm just going to say it. Matt, you don't say anything. I'm okay.
This is a virtual world. Yeah.
Virtual world.
Right, right.
The betting market's happy.
Right there.
Look at his eyes, dude. He like locks eyes with this guy. Okay.
This is a virtual world. Yeah.
Virtual world.
Right.
The betting market. Like he looks at the guy off camera. He was like and he's like, what the hell? Is you blowing up my spot? But okay, so this is my point. Is like, and maybe I could say here, it's have you leading. Okay, if I can get somebody who's not militarizing the National Guard, and someone who's not shutting down TV shows that disagree with them, and someone who's not threatening free and fair elections, that's a huge win already. It's a low bar to clear, and it's an easy clear.
Pretty low bar, but I get it. Yeah.
But realistically, from the audience that I'm talking about, because again, I think I got lucky. I got the last chapter out of Nom. I'm feeling fine. They can't go back to the status quo, Gavin. They just can't. They will continue to grow more upset and populist and nihilistic unless things seriously change. Like they have to change on a more fundamental level.
So let's start.
So that was like my core idea. The idea was like, you're going to be better than Trump. And I appreciate that you're like standing up to him and you have a spine and you're fighting. Again, he did sign right before this thing. He signed a thing that ICE cannot be wearing masks in California, which is a big thing because they've been walking around masked up and grabbing people and they have to show their badge number and all that. Okay. So if he's doing things in that direction, it's progress, but it's not enough if you don't change fundamentally the economic reality that's making people more and more disengaged. That's like what I was trying to get across. So I'm glad I got it after all the gaming discussion. Hopefully it's not too late in the video, but I wanted to just try to get that point across without being, he probably thinks you're a commie now. I don't think so. I also I did my whole speech about, the things I'm asking for are not radical. They were literally in this country from like the 50s, 60s, 70s before Reagan. Like we used to have strong unions, high taxes on the rich. Like all these things existed in this country. They worked great. We had businesses that thrived. We had a strong middle class. It wasn't radical. It's called radical now, but it's nothing about it is crazy. Did you ask him if he can bring back the Travis Scott skin in Fortnite? Did I ask him that? He asked me that. He basically asked me, what's your favorite dance in Fortnite? Do you think I should dance take the L if I beat Trump in the general? Low-key terrifying when he mentioned sports gambling. Yeah, so that was the last third of the interview, just as a high level, right? Last third of the interview, I go deep into if you were looking for quicker wins, because again, the things I'm talking about here are like fundamental changes to the way our economy distributes risk and reward. That's I guess what it is. Here, I'm like, hey, if you're looking for quick wins, the things that are absolutely destroying young men's financial lives are crypto, gambling, buy now, pay later, DraftKings and FanDuel ads on every possible platform at all times. That was my last third. And then one of the other guys, the guy who was right off to the right here, he also talked to me after the show, and he goes, hey, that gambling stuff really resonated with me because I lost all my money gambling a few years back. He was like, he looked like he had a couple tats. He was like, I basically lost everything on it, and I've really had to dig myself out of a hole. And so, yeah, I do think those things are criminal. So, yeah, listen, I don't know. I think there's parts here that I really like, but I do wish this stuff was more at the beginning and the gaming stuff was like the fun stuff at the end. Kevin Hart will go bankrupt if they ban it. No, he won't. Thank God, Kevin Hart will be all right, even if we ban sports gambling, because Kevin Hart just signed a multi-million-dollar deal to perform in Saudi Arabia. So he'll be all right. Was there anything you said like Gavin resonated with? The stuff related to his kids. Anything that related back to his kids, I think he could understand. Anything where I was like, kids are, getting more easily indoctrinated into gambling. He was like, yeah, my kid has been gambling. I think when I explained that if you were to tell let's say you have a young man, I'm speaking mostly to men for this example, but this applies to women actually too. But if you're at a young man who's like not socially engaging enough and you take away their ability to use Discord and video games, you're not making them more socially engaged nowadays. You're actually making them even more isolated. I was like, listen, if some of these guys who get off a hard day at work and can't hang out in Discord and play games with their friend, like if they didn't have that, that is what they have. That is the thing keeping them from going crazy. It's not the thing making them crazy. It's the thing stopping them from going crazy. And I think he resonated with that because he sort of understood that like his kids are making friends and have friends and they all hang out and play Roblox and Minecraft or whatever. I think he understood that. So yeah, I think he had that stuff on the kids. I mean, I'm sure he's heard economic stuff before, and it remains to be seen whether I can even personally trust that he can make progress on that. But I wanted to push for it while I had the opportunity. Discord is kind of the only free third place now. I don't know about the only, but it's one of the better ones. Yeah, for young people online interested in gaming or online adjacent hobbies. Discord's like a real easy free place to hang out with other human beings that share your interests. I work for these sports betting apps. The money they pay in sponsorships is insane. Yeah, I wonder why. You think it's for charity? You don't think it's because they make that back, right? Off of the stupid people they bring in? I think it's just because they really like helping out creators and artists and just giving back. It's to help struggling streamers and celebrities.